What if the biggest obstacle between you and success isn't outside you, but inside your own mind? Imagine having the power to control that obstacle, to turn your thoughts into a relentless engine driving you forward. In this video, you'll uncover the mindset Napoleon Hill called the secret weapon of every winner and why most people never even come close to unlocking it. Stay focused, because once you understand this, nothing will ever stop you again. There is a moment in your life, and it comes without warning, when you realize that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream about. No one is going to whisper the secret in your ear while you sleep. No light from the sky will split the clouds and anoint you with destiny. You must choose. You must rise. You must decide to become the person you were meant to be, and that decision, it starts in the quiet, ruthless space between your ears. Understand this. Your mind is the battlefield. Your thoughts are soldiers. Your beliefs are the generals. And right now, many are fighting against you. They whisper doubt. They echo fear. They cling to comfort like a drowning man clutches driftwood. But comfort never made a king, and fear never forged an empire. Look back in history at the titans who reshaped the world. Edison lighting the world with 10,000 failed attempts. Lincoln rising from heartbreak, defeat, and civil war to unite a broken nation. Disney fired for lack of imagination, who went on to build a universe. They weren't born with more talent. They weren't handed a silver key to the kingdom. They simply mastered the most powerful mindset known to man. Success is not something you chase. It is something you create. Success is the consequence of identity. Who you become decides what you achieve, and who you become begins with what you believe. Not in some airy, dreamy, feel-good way, but in a raw, relentless, take-no-prisoners kind of way. You must believe you are worthy. You must believe you are capable. And then you must prove it to yourself every single day through action. Belief is the soil. Action is the water. And success, that is the harvest. But belief doesn't grow in the sunlight of ease. It grows in storms. It grows when your bank account is gasping, when your friends don't understand, when your plan has failed and you're still standing. You want the most powerful mindset for success? Here it is. Everything is training. Every failure a lesson. Every delay a sharpening of your discipline. Every rejection a reinforcement of your identity. You are not the outcomes of your life. You are the creator of them. This is how the greats think. They don't wait for motivation. They command it. They don't hope for confidence. They generate it. They don't react to life. They respond with intention. When you adopt this mindset, life bends around you. You stop asking, can I? And you start declaring, watch me. Mindset is not fluff. It's the architecture of everything. Your discipline, your habits, your vision, your strategy, they all flow downstream from belief, change the river's source, and you redirect the current of your life. So what do you believe? Because every day, life is listening. Every action you take is a vote for the future you want or the one you fear. Most people cast their votes for safety, for comfort, for predictability. But let me remind you, comfort is a silent killer. Comfort will rock you to sleep with lullabies of good enough. If you want success, not just the appearance of it, but the deep, unshakable kind that echoes through generations, you must wage war against your limitations. Your job is not to avoid struggle. Your job is to become stronger than the struggle. Think of your mind like a forge. The heat of adversity, that's your fire. The hammer of discipline, that's your tool. And every day you show up, you are reshaping yourself into something more unstoppable. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is devotion to your future. Wake up when it hurts. Work when no one is watching. Choose growth over gossip. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose clarity over chaos. The most powerful mindset doesn't chase happiness. It chases meaning, because happiness is fleeting. But meaning turns pain into fuel. It gives suffering a direction. You want power? Then take responsibility, full responsibility, not just for your wins, for your failures, for your choices, for your mindset. The moment you stop blaming anything external, the market, the weather, your upbringing, the algorithm, you reclaim your power. This is what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The seed. But the seed doesn't grow unless you plant it, unless you tend to it, unless you stay long enough in the dirt to let it take root. Most people quit before the roots even begin to spread. They judge the dream by the speed of results. They say it's not working. No, you haven't worked it long enough. The most powerful mindset knows this. The clock is not your enemy. Time is not running out. But your belief might be. You must be patient with results and ruthless with your habits. You must be calm in chaos and fierce in your focus. This is the paradox of mastery. You need both hunger and humility, ambition without arrogance, conviction without delusion, and all of it, every ounce starts in the mind, not the surface mind that chases likes and follows, but the deep mind, the one that dreams in silence, the one that speaks when the noise fades, the one that says you were made for more. Do not silence that voice. Do not numb it with distractions. Do not drown it in opinion. Instead, feed it with purpose, with action, with integrity, because when you align your thoughts with your purpose, when your actions echo your beliefs, you become a force, not a person hoping to succeed, but a person designed to. A mind like that can endure anything, can overcome everything, can create something the world has never seen, and that is where we begin, with belief, with discipline, with the fire in your chest that says, no matter what comes, I will not stop, not because it's easy, but because I was born to rise, because I was not built for mediocrity, because I am here to build, to shape, to leave something behind that outlives me. The most powerful mindset for success is not a trick. It's not a secret. It's a decision, and that decision is yours to make right now. So the only question left is, who will you become, now that there are no excuses left? If you're still listening, if you're still breathing, it means your story is not over. And that means there's still time to rewrite your destiny. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Success doesn't wait. Destiny doesn't knock. You must break the door down. And to do that, you need vision. Not just goals, but a vivid, sensory-rich vision of the future you want to inhabit. You need to see it so clearly that it haunts you. You need to feel it in your bones before it's real, because vision is the compass in the chaos. Vision is the North Star when everything else is burning. Henry Ford didn't invent the car. He saw a future where every family had one. Steve Jobs didn't create computers. He envisioned one in every home, every hand. That vision pulled them forward through ridicule, setbacks, and near ruin. Vision is the weapon of warriors. But vision without clarity is a hallucination. And clarity only comes when you remove what no longer belongs to your future. The most powerful mindset doesn't just add, it subtracts, it deletes distraction, it silences noise, it refuses to carry dead weight. Ask yourself this, what am I carrying that I need to let go of? What habits, relationships, patterns, stories are shackling my ascent? Because clarity isn't about doing more, it's about doing less better. It's about turning your focus into a laser that cuts through every excuse. You were not designed to be scattered. You were designed to be precise. And once you have clarity, purpose becomes the engine. Purpose is what wakes you up before the sun. Purpose is what keeps you moving when motivation vanishes. Purpose is what turns your work into worship. Purpose does not ask for comfort. It demands sacrifice. But sacrifice with purpose is never loss. It is the exchange rate for greatness. Every hour you give, every party you skip, every comfort you kill in service of the vision, those are the bricks you lay in the foundation of legacy, because success is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Now here is the truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. Consistency is greater than intensity. The world will always be impressed by a burst of fire, a bold move, a viral moment, a flash of brilliance. But success doesn't belong to the flash. It belongs to the flame that stays lit. You want the most powerful mindset? Then stop being seduced by the rush. Fall in love with the grind. Honor the boring days. Respect the mundane, because the mundane is where mastery is born. Greatness doesn't shout. It whispers. in morning routines, in nightly reflections, in the invisible hours when the world is asleep and you're still building. Show me someone who trains without applause, and I'll show you someone who will perform without fear. Show me someone who shows up even when no one is watching, and I'll show you a leader in the making. Because the most powerful mindset doesn't need permission. It doesn't need validation. It just executes. Execution is the bridge between your vision and your result. You can dream it, map it, speak it, but until you do it, it's just imagination. And imagination without execution is the beginning of regret. So build, move, act, even when it's messy, even when you're scared, even when the world tells you it's impossible, because impossible is an opinion, not a fact. And every opinion can be rewritten by the pen of persistence. You are holding that pen, so write wisely, write boldly, and don't stop until the story becomes legend, because that's the mindset, not just to succeed, but to transform, to become the kind of person who doesn't just chase history. They make it. Power isn't taken. Power is earned in the shadows. When no one believes in you, when even you don't believe in you, when the mirror reflects nothing but fatigue, failure, and forgotten dreams, and you rise anyway, that's when the world starts to shift. Not because it changed, but because you did. The storm was never the enemy. The storm was the teacher. It beat you down not to destroy you, but to strip away everything that was never truly you. Because the most powerful version of you isn't built by applause. It's built by pain transmuted into purpose, by chaos harnessed into clarity, by doubt turned into dominion. Listen, there's a warrior in your soul, not loud, not flashy, but relentless, and it's time to wake them up. You've played small long enough. You've danced with mediocrity. You've negotiated with procrastination like it had your best interest at heart. It doesn't. That voice that says tomorrow, it's lying. That comfort that says you've done enough, it's a trap. You weren't born to coast. You were born to command. So how do you rise? By building rituals stronger than your emotions. Because your feelings will lie to you, but rituals will remake you. Get up when it's inconvenient. Speak truth when it's unpopular. Do the work especially when no one claps. Every time you show up in defiance of doubt, you send a signal to your future. I'm coming. I'm not there yet, but I'm coming. And your future hears you. The world hears you. And slowly the gates start to open. But remember, they don't open because the world owes you. They open because you've earned the key. The grind is the key. The grace under pressure is the key. The refusal to quit when you're tired, discouraged, unseen, that is the key. And when you finally walk through that gate, don't expect applause. Expect responsibility. Because power doesn't just elevate you, it tests you. Will you forget who you were in the climb? Will you trade your integrity for speed? Or will you anchor yourself in purpose so deep that success can't shake it? The most powerful mindset doesn't just win. It wins clean. It wins with honor. It wins without compromise. Because what's the point of reaching the top if you lose yourself on the way up? So guard your character like treasure, because reputation is what they say, but character is what echoes when the world falls silent. Because history doesn't remember the comfortable, it remembers the committed. The ones who burned their excuses, buried their doubts, and stood in the storm with nothing but grit in their gut and fire in their eyes. You want to know the difference between potential and power? Discipline. Potential is the dream in your head. Power is the legacy in your hands. And the bridge between them is built one hard choice at a time. Wake up early when you want to sleep in. Speak truth when silence would be easier. Do the rep when no one's counting. Make the call even when your hands are shaking. These moments are not small. They are the crucibles of greatness. Your destiny isn't waiting at the top of a mountain. It's buried inside your daily decisions. Do not be fooled by the illusion of someday. Someday is a thief that steals your now. It whispers, wait until you're ready. But readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision backed by action. So act. Move before you feel qualified. Speak before your voice is steady. Start before you see the full path. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to be ruled by it. And fear is just the border of your current self, begging to be expanded. It's the doorframe of growth. And on the other side, your evolution. But here's the catch. You can't take the old you into the next level. You must let go to rise. Let go of excuses. Let go of victimhood. Let go of anything that whispers you can't, because you can. And more than that, you must. Not for applause, not for trophies, but for the sacred reason you're still here, to become, not who they want you to be, not who you were yesterday, but who you were born to be. That version of you, they don't run from hard, they run into it. They don't pray for easy. They prepare for impact. This is not about feeling inspired. This is about becoming unbreakable. Because life will test you. Storms will come. You will be misunderstood, misjudged, and underestimated. But if your root is deep, the winds can never uproot you. So deepen it with conviction, with commitment, with character forged in silence when no one's clapping, because the applause comes after the sweat, after the tears, after the late nights and early mornings where you bet on yourself when no one else did. And one day the world will look up and call you an overnight success. But you'll know better. You'll know the nights it took to become that overnight. So keep building, keep sharpening, keep showing up with relentless focus and unapologetic fire, because you're not just chasing success anymore, you're becoming it. And here's what the world won't tell you. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice over and over, when it's the hardest, when the lights are off and no one's clapping, when the doubt creeps in like fog through the cracks, when your progress feels invisible and your pain feels infinite. That's when it counts. That's when champions are built, not in celebration but in solitude, not when everything is working, but when everything is testing you. Because the truth is this: success doesn't show up for those who wish. It shows up for those who outlast. You don't need more motivation. You need a reason that makes quitting impossible. Not a why that sounds good on paper, but one that makes your hands shake. One that punches you in the gut when you think of giving up. One that whispers in your ear at 3 a.m., you're not done yet. That reason, it's your fuel, your soul on fire. It's the difference between the person who tries and the one who transforms, because the most powerful mindset doesn't crave ease. It craves evolution. And evolution is violent. It kills who you were. It buries your excuse. It strips you of your comfort zone until all that's left is truth. The truth of who you really are and who you were meant to become. So if it hurts right now, good. That means you're in the forge. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. And if it feels lonely, good. That means you're walking a path most people will never even see. The path where legends are made, where greatness is born. You weren't made for the crowd. You were made to lead it. But to lead, you must first conquer yourself. Conquer the voice that says you're not enough. Conquer the story that says you always fail. Conquer the fear that says stay small, because that voice isn't truth. It's training. Every lie your mind tells you is a test. And when you stop negotiating with weakness, when you stop arguing with limitation, when you stop entertaining doubt like a guest, you become dangerous. You stop chasing potential and you start living in power. The conversations you entertain, the content you consume, the people you keep around you like comfort blankets, they are either bricks in your cathedral or anchors on your ankles. You don't rise in isolation, but you do rise by eliminating what dilutes you. Because every time you let negativity linger, every time you stay in a room that shrinks your ambition, you are co-signing your own stagnation. Protect your space like a sacred temple. Audit your circle like your life depends on it, because it does. Surround yourself with people who challenge your comfort, not those who feed it. With people who ask, is that really your best? Not those who say, it's okay to quit. Growth requires friction. It's not found in echo chambers. It's found in truth tellers. Iron sharpens iron, not pillows. So if you're serious about this mindset, this future, this legacy you claim to be building, you must become a guardian of your gate. Every thought, every habit, every influence, all of it must pass through a single question. Does this serve the future I'm creating? Because if it doesn't, then it's a distraction in disguise. And understand this, there is no neutral in life. You are either being pulled forward by your vision or dragged backward by your indecision. So stop flirting with potential. Stop entertaining maybes. Stop living with 1 foot in purpose and 1 foot in fear. The world doesn't need another half-lit soul. It needs fire. It needs people who decide fully, finally, and ferociously. The kind of decision that burns the boat. The kind of decision that silences plan B. The kind of decision that says, this is who I am now. No turning back. That's what it takes. Not motivation, not hype, not perfect timing. Just one moment of clarity, one moment of ruthless commitment, one moment when you stop looking for proof and become the proof. You are exactly where transformation begins. Not at the mountaintop, not when the crowd cheers, but here in the quiet grit of becoming. This is where greatness is forged, in the obscure hours where no one is watching but your future self is listening, in the unseen grind where the reward isn't applause, it's alignment, in the internal war where every excuse you kill becomes another brick in your throne. This is not about hype. It's not about chasing validation. It's about alignment. When your actions align with your values and your values align with your vision, you become unstoppable. Let the world sleep. Let them doubt you. Let them scroll and click and laugh and forget. But you are not here to be remembered by everyone. You are here to be unforgettable to the right ones, to the future self who looks back and thanks you, to the stranger you'll inspire without knowing it, to the legacy you'll carve that outlives your name. Because the truth is, you don't need millions to see you. You need you to see your worth before it's proven, to see your strength before it's recognized, to see your potential before it becomes performance. This mindset, it's not a skill set, it's a soul set. It's when your soul refuses to be silenced by your circumstances. It's when your inner world becomes louder than the noise of the outer one. And here's the brutal beauty of it all. You don't get the crown without the scars. You don't build resilience without resist. You don't claim victory without walking through valleys alone. So stop fearing the hard road. Fear the empty one, the one paved with distractions, the one padded with comfort, the one that looks easy but leads to nothing. The hard road, that's where legends are born. And you, if you dare to keep walking, are on your way to becoming one. You start by owning the moment you're in. Not the perfect moment, not the one you planned for, the one in front of you, flawed, chaotic, and bursting with untapped power. Because this moment, this now, it is your raw material. And the greats don't wait for ideal conditions. They craft excellence from scraps. They build empires from rubble. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. You don't need permission. You need conviction. Conviction that you are enough, not someday, but right now. Conviction that every setback is setting you up. Conviction that your scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof you were strong enough to survive the fire. Listen carefully. Your life bends at the edges of your decisions, and the decision to rise, it doesn't come with applause. It comes with silence, sweat, and solitude. But in that silence, if you listen close, you'll hear something rare. It's your future calling you, not begging, daring you to push beyond the identity you've outgrown, daring you to burn the blueprint of who you were so you can step into who you must become. Because greatness is not a destination, it's a demolition site. And every excuse, every fear, every outdated belief must be torn down to lay the foundation for what's next. So tear it down. Tear down the lie that says you're too late. Tear down the doubt that says you're not ready. Tear down the guilt that says you must stay small to make others comfortable. You were not born to shrink. You were born to stand, to stretch, to expand into the kind of force that doesn't just change your life, it changes everyone around you. And when the resistance comes, and it will, you don't flinch, because now you understand resistance is not the enemy. It's the test. It's the gateway. It's the fire that forges you. Those who avoid the fire never find their form, but those who enter it with resolve emerge unrecognizable, refined, unstoppable, legendary. This is the path. This is the mindset. And if you are willing to walk it, not once, but daily, you will not just reach your potential. You will redefine it, because potential is not a ceiling. It's a starting line. The world remembers the few who dared to think differently, who refused to conform, who stared at the status quo and said, "Not for me." You weren't born to blend in. You weren't wired to be average. Deep in your soul, there is a voice whispering that you are here to do something unforgettable, but that voice will be drowned if you don't protect it. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Guard your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Feed your mind with greatness until doubt starves to death. This is not a game of chance. This is a game of choice. You choose your thoughts, you choose your effort, you choose your response to pain, and every choice is shaping you. The question is, are you shaping yourself on purpose or by accident? You see, the most powerful mindset doesn't stumble into greatness. It constructs it brick by brick, moment by moment. It turns discipline into instinct. It turns vision into velocity. It turns resistance into fuel. Let others be obsessed with comfort. Let others scroll, compare, complain. You're too busy becoming. While they chase validation, you chase evolution. While they seek approval, you seek alignment. While they wait for the perfect moment, you create it. And in doing so, you become rare. Rare is not easy. Rare is not understood. But rare is necessary because the world doesn't change by the ordinary. It changes by those who dare to become extraordinary. You want to change your life? Change your standard, not your goals, your standard. What you tolerate, what you accept from yourself, what you allow to linger in your mind. Raise the bar so high that the old version of you couldn't reach it, and then climb. Because the most powerful mindset does not negotiate with weakness. It does not argue with fear. It does not entertain excuses. It moves anyway. Even when it hurts, even when it's slow, even when progress is invisible to the world, because the real progress happens in silence, in the decisions no one sees, in the moments you choose growth over comfort, excellence over ease, purpose over pleasure. That's the war, and you are the warrior. So stand tall. You're not chasing the dream anymore. You're becoming the person who builds it, and that changes everything. Let this truth burn into your bones. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. And more than that, you get what you become worthy of through your decisions, your discipline, and your daily devotion to the vision. The world isn't withholding success from you. It's simply asking, are you ready to carry the weight of what you're asking? Because greatness isn't a gift. It's a burden carried only by those who choose to become strong enough to bear it. It will test you. It will stretch you. It will strip you down and ask, are you still committed when nothing is clapping for you? And your answer, it can't come from your lips. It must come from your habits. People talk about sacrifice like it's noble, but sacrifice is not noble. Sacrifice is the price, the toll you pay for building something that will outlive you. So let them laugh while you build. Let them doubt while you sharpen. Because in silence, behind the curtains, under pressure, legends are made. This is the code of the relentless. They show up. They execute, they endure, and they do it not because they're fearless, but because they've decided that fear is no longer in charge. You want power? Then own your pace. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's highlight reel. You are not late. You are not behind. You are in the exact storm you were designed to conquer. Let others obsess over timelines. Let them panic over milestones. You build your foundation in the fire, because here's what most don't understand. Success isn't found in the spotlight. It's forged in the shadows, the lonely mornings, the silent rejections, the quiet consistency when no one is cheering. That's where the next level is born. That's where champions become undeniable. And the ones who rise, they're not always the smartest, not always the fastest. They're the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who see the mountain and climb anyway. So if you're tired, if you're doubting, if you feel like breaking, good. That means you're getting close. Because right before the breakthrough comes the break point. Right before you rise, the pressure will try to crush you. But if you can stand there shaking, bleeding, believing, then you're already becoming the person who doesn't just taste victory but embodies it. And when you finally arrive at the summit of that impossible mountain, at the place they said you'd never reach, don't look back with arrogance. Look back with gratitude, because every scar you carry is proof that you endured. Every doubt you silenced is evidence that you believe. And every step you took, shaking, stumbling, uncertain, was the exact step needed to become who you are now. This is not about ego. This is about evolution. You didn't come this far to impress the world. You came to express what's always lived inside you. That quiet fire, that untamed, that divine whisper that keeps saying, you're not done yet. So don't stop here. Don't camp on the edge of greatness. There is more in you, more clarity to be claimed, more courage to be unleashed, more lives to impact simply by being fully you. Because when one person steps into their power, it ripples. It gives permission for others to rise. You weren't just born to succeed, you were born to lead, not with titles, not with noise, but with example, with the integrity to keep your word, with the strength to admit when you're wrong, with the heart to lift others even while you climb. That's real success. That's unshakable. That's legacy. And legacy isn't measured in money or trophies or social metrics. It's measured in moments. The moment someone says, because of you I didn't quit. Because of you I saw what was possible. Because of you I believed again. So write that legacy now with every breath, every habit, every choice. Make your life the loudest proof that it's possible. And when fear knocks again, and it will, let it in. But don't let it lead. Let it remind you that you're on the edge of something bigger. Let it sharpen your focus, not shake your faith. Because fear is just the shadow of potential waiting to be claimed. You don't need less fear, you need more courage. And courage isn't loud, it's quiet. It shows up in early mornings, in late nights, in the silence between decisions. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that this matters more. Your dream matters more. Your purpose matters more. Your becoming matters more. So return to the fire. Reignite the belief. Reclaim the responsibility. And remember, you're not here to live someone else's script. You're here to write a story so powerful the world can't help but feel it. This is not a rehearsal. This is your moment. And the most powerful mindset for success will always begin here, not in the applause, not in the outcome, but in the decision to keep becoming no matter what. And when the dust settles, when the world finally quiets and you're left alone with your own reflection, there's only one thing that will matter. Did you become the person you were capable of being, not just the version others applauded, not just the version that fit neatly into boxes and titles and trends, but the version that made your soul feel like fire and steel and light all at once? Because legacy is not carved in stone, it's etched in the impact you make. It's in the lives you lift, the truth you live, the courage you model when it would have been easier to shrink. You don't need 1 million followers to be great. You need 1 million moments of integrity, moments where you chose growth over ego, courage over comfort, truth over popularity. And you don't do it once, you do it daily. Because greatness isn't a one-time act. It's a lifestyle. It's a standard. So raise yours. Don't lower your vision to match your current circumstances. Raise your standards to match your destiny. Because your destiny isn't waiting for perfection. It's waiting for alignment. It's waiting for the day you stop negotiating with your doubts. The day you stop running from the fire and realize you are the fire. This world doesn't need more noise. It needs more clarity. It needs more people willing to live their truth so boldly that it echoes in every room they enter. People who aren't afraid to stand alone, to walk uphill, to speak when it's uncomfortable and act when it's inconvenient. That's you, if you decide it is. This moment right now is your invitation, not to be average, not to survive, but to lead your own mind, to lead your own life, to become the proof that greatness is possible when discipline meets devotion. You are not here to be remembered for what you plan to do. You are here to be remembered for what you did in the dark, in the quiet, when it was hardest and no one saw, because those are the moments that shape everything. So go forward now, not with fear but with fire, not with doubt but with direction. And every time you feel tired, discouraged, or tempted to quit, remember this. You were not handed this dream by accident. You were called to it, and the call is still ringing. Pick it up, answer it.